Okay, sir. Very good afternoon to everyone. Actually, this workshop is based on evaluation of 5G communication. Okay, so this is the content of today workshop. So first we are going to discuss about digital signal processing and its introduction, then 5G communication and the concept of CRN, then radio frequency, like to that. Okay, so firstly we must know about digital signal processing. Before know about 5G communication, we must know about digital signal processing, right? Okay, but before know about DSP, that's mean digital signal processing, we must know about what is the signal, right? Anybody know about signal? Okay, actually signal is nothing. It carries a information. Okay, so anything that carries information, that can be called as signal, right? So actually it can also be defined as physical quantity that varies with the time, temperature, pressure, or with any independent variable such as speech signal or video signal, like to that. Okay, then the process of operation in which the characteristics of a signal, those are amplitude, shape, phase, frequency, etc. And those amplitude, shape, base, and frequency, so those are undergoes a change known as signal processing. Okay, here one important point. Any unwanted signal that interfacing with the main signal means, so that is termed as noise. Noise also one of the signal only, but that is an unwanted signal. Unwanted signal is called noise. Okay. Okay, now we clearly know about signal, what is signal and what is signal processing. So now we have clear knowledge about it, right? Okay, then next important one. Before know about this digital signal processing, basically signal have two types, right? One is continuous time signal, another one is discrete time signal. Okay, what about continuous time signal? Continuous time signals are actually defined along a continuum of time, or thus represented by a continuous independent variable and continuous time signals. So those are often referred as a analog signal. Continuous time signals as well as called analog signals. Okay, then these types of analog or continuous time signals, it's shown continuity both in amplitude and time. So that's why it's depend on time. So that is depend on both time and amplitude. Okay, so that's why it's called continuous time signal. So these will have value at each instant of time. So since the cosine function is one of the best example for continuous time signal. Okay, then come to discrete time signal. So which are defined at discrete times. So that is called a discrete time signal. So a signal that is dependent on continuous time means that is called a continuous time signal or analog signal. Which signals are depend on discrete time interval. Okay, so that is known as discrete signals. Okay, so therefore every independent variable has discrete values. Okay, so that have your that every signals have independent distinct value. So those values are in discrete format. So thus they are represented as sequence of numbers. Okay, like 2 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, now come to digital signal. Digital signal is one of the, we can say, one of the branch of electronics. Okay, so this digital signal processing is one of the branch of electronics and telecommunication engineering. That digital signal processing mainly deal with the improvisation of reliability and accuracy of the digital communication by employing multiple techniques. Okay, so in this workshop I'll explain the concept of digital signal processing, and it has some types also. Okay, let me discuss about it. Okay, so this is the types of digital signal processing. So first one is, under the digital signal processing we must know about those topics. The first one is communication. Okay, communication is, we know that communication is one of the subject of digital communication, right? So that is digital communication that involve the transmission of information in digital form, that is called digital communication. Communication is nothing, just sharing our information. Okay, information sharing, simply we can define communication. Communication is sharing of information, right? Then what is the digital communication? Okay, so digital communication is nothing that involve the transmission of information in the digital form, right? So that is called digital communication. Okay, then the particular important in the digital signal analysis, so that is the design of communication system or the characteristics of the physical channel. Okay, so the which the information is transmitted using physical channels. In digital communication, the character of the channel greatly affect the design of basic building blocks of the communication system. So such as the digital communication research, they strive to come to a understanding about all physical element of communication system and its function also. So this digital communication, okay, it make use of function and methods such as statistical channel and its modeling, modulation and demodulation technique, optimal receiver design and performance analysis technique, source coding, quantization and fundamentals info. Okay, so like to that lot of techniques we want to learn within that communication. Okay, okay, the next one important point of digital signal processing is image processing. Okay, image and video processing both are comes under it. Okay, okay, let me discuss about it. Actually, computer image analysis are largely contain the field of computer or machine vision, right? So and also that field have medical imaging, and it make a heavy use of pattern recognition, digital geometry, and signal processing. Those all are comes under the machine vision, and we can said it's this all are comes under the image and video processing only, right? Anybody have doubt about it? Okay, those all are comes under image and video processing only, right? Okay, then this field of computer science, that's mean that image processing based computers, actually this that signal processing is one of the part of computer science, right? Okay, now that image processing, now we're discussing about image processing only, image and video processing only. So this field of computer science, okay, so it this technique developed in 1950s, okay, that MIT Institute is developed about this. So why they are developing about image processing and video processing means they are that time they are researching on artificial intelligence and its robots, artificial intelligence based robots, okay. So that's why they are researching about image processing and video processing, okay. So now we know computers are indispensable for the analysis of large amount of data, okay, for the task that require complex computation or for the extraction of quantitative information, right? So on the other hand, the human visual cortex is an excellent image analysis apparatus, especially for extracting high level information and for many applications that including medicine, security and remote sensing. Human analysis and still can't be replaced by computers. So for this reason, many important image analysis tools such as edge detector and neural network, so those are the inspired by human visual perception models. Then another one important point, computer vision. Okay, whenever we are discussing about image processing and video processing, we must know about computer vision also. We must know about the importance of computer vision, right? So this computer vision is the science and the technology of machines. That's say, as a scientific discipline, computer vision is concerned with the theory and technology for building artificial intelligence system that obtain information from images or multidimensional data. That information is that which enable a decision. Okay, so since perception can be seen as the extraction of information from sensory signals, computer vision can be seen as a scientific investigation of artificial system for perception from images or multidimensional data also. This computer vision that can be also described as a complement of biological vision. In biological vision, that visual perception of human and various animals are studied, okay, resulting in model of how the system operate in term of physiological process. Here, the computer vision, on the other hand, it studied and described artificial vision systems, so that are implemented in purely software and software plus hardware also. Okay, so interdisciplinary exchange between biological and computer vision has proven that increasingly fruitful for both fields. So that the application of computer vision system that include robots and autonomous vehicle detection, organizing information and modeling objects also. Okay, then another one important point, antenna designs. Okay, so nowadays without antenna we can't share any information from one place to another place, right? So now very easily we can sharing our information. Okay, frequent of second, that much frequently we can share our information nowadays, right? So how is it possible? Lately we discuss about that generation of communication, because nowadays we are using 5G 5G data and 4G. So that's why we got that much speed. That's also, yeah, correct only. So within that one important technique we used, right? So that is called antenna. Okay, using antenna only we can achieve that transmission and transmission speed, everything. Okay, now we discuss about it. Okay, so mainly the antenna design is an important factor in a UAVs that over extended range and where there are obstructed views. So while this is not directly related to antenna tracking or autopilots, it, so basically antenna fundamentals are, when we speak about antenna radiation, it's also include the reverse. So that is the antenna collecting radiated energy. Okay, any piece of wire will radiate energy when connected to a source of RF. So how well it radiate the applied energy is depend on only two factors only. So those are, first one important factor, that antenna is resonant at the same frequency as the ratio signal applied, and the second point is that the feed point of antenna is matched to the impedance of the attached transmitter energy source. So these both points are important in antenna. Okay. Then come to before moving about yeah, then another one is audio processing, right? So actually those audio and image processing, processing, so all are comes under the single field. So already we discussed about image and video processing, then no need to individually describe about audio processing. Okay. Yeah, then next one, types of communication, channel, right? So basically the communication channel have two types. One is we called guided and unguided. Guided mean wired communication and unguided means wireless communication. Okay, so now we discuss about the what are the types comes under the wired communication and what are the types comes under the wireless communication, and we briefly discuss about those things, and we will discuss about the differentiate between and what are the advantage disadvantages between the wired and wireless communication also. Let me discuss. Okay, yeah, first thing, communication medium that refer to the physical channel through which data is sent and received. The data is sent in form of voltage level which make up the digital signal. Okay, a signal that consists of zeros and ones, essentially a 1 corresponding to a high voltage and a 0 corresponding to a low voltage, right? The speed of data transmission or the data rate depends upon the types of medium that being used in the network. So in this types of network only commonly divided into wired network or wireless network. That the same thing we called wired communication, wireless communication, right? Okay, let me discuss about types of wired communication. Okay, wired communication have three types. One is we know twisted pair, and another one is coaxial cable and optical fiber, right? Okay, let me discuss about twisted pair. So this twisted pair, it consists of pair of copper wires. Okay, pair of copper wires that twisted around each other. These wires are around 1 to 2 millimeter thick and they are twisted to reduce the interference from the surrounding wires. That remember that the current carrying wires has a magnetic field around it that can interface with that of another wire when it close proximately. That is invented by Alexander Graham Bell. The twisted pair wires are invented by Alexander Graham Bell. This form of wire has been used since the 19th century and it currently the cheapest medium nowadays available. These types of twisted pairs are this twisted pair. Okay, so these are also used in telephonic wires. So but they only consist of 4 wire or 2 pair. 4 wires, we can say the 4 wire or 2 pair. Okay, we know nowadays mostly no telephone wires are, we can't saw the things, but before for 10 years 15 years, okay, before 10 to 20 years that twisted pair cables are available. Okay, in this computer network 8 wire or 4 pairs are utilized. Okay, so basically in twisted pair 4 wire 2 pair only it consists, right? But in computer network 8 wires or 4 pairs are utilized. So this is also known as Ethernet cable or RJ45 cables. So the types of cable have 8 actually 4 pairs or 8 individual wires. Okay, so the pair of wires are bundled together and covered by a protective shield. Yeah, next type is coaxial cable. That coaxial cable offering better data rate and less signal attenuation. Okay, so these types of coaxial cable consist of a central copper conductor that is surrounded by a foil shield. This type of foil is covered by yet another shield that is known as a braided shield. Unlike a twisted pair, that coaxial cable only have a single copper conductor only. That conductor and that foil shield are separated by a dielectric. Okay, so that is called a coaxial cable. Okay, I have hope everybody now have knowledge about twisted pair and coaxial pair and the structure of twisted and coaxial pair also. Now you know about it, right? Yeah, the third types of wired communication channel is optical fiber. That optical fiber or fiber optic. So it is the most expensive of wired medium, and it offers a high rate of data transmission, and they are often used in long distance communications, and this is never affected by any electromagnetic field because it involves light. A fiber optic cable is a thin and flexible transparent medium made of very fine glass or plastic fibers. So it utilises the principle of total internal reflection. Unlike twisted pair or coaxial cable, that fiber optic use light pulses that generated by a laser or an injection diode to transmit data. This each pulse of light that represent a single bit of data. So this is the wired communication and the types of wired communications. Okay. Now I have hope everybody know about twisted pair, coaxial cable and optical fiber also. Right. Then unguided or wireless communication channels. So under the wireless communication channel we have three types. Yeah, first one is terrestrial microwave, and second type is satellite microwave, and the third type is broadcast radio. Okay. Before know about it, we must know what is the wireless network. A wireless network that is uses a radio wave as the sole medium for transmitting and receiving data. There are no wire involved. For example, so is the wireless router in our home, right? That radio waves are electromagnetic, and that wave which are transfers in nature, and they have the longest wavelength on the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, they travel at the speed of light and have frequencies ranging from 3 kilohertz to 3 gigahertz. Okay, that much radio magnetic spectrum it have, and this type of radio wave can easily be absorbed by most materials, and can bend around object as well. However, they are susceptible to nearby electromagnetic field which can cause loss in the data rate. Okay, so in this description about this wireless communication, we heard about one word, right? That word is nothing, electromagnetic. Then what is electromagnetic? Okay, let me discuss about electromagnetic wave. Electromagnetic wave is nothing, it carries the electromagnetic energy of electromagnetic field through our space. Then that electromagnetic field and electromagnetic wave. So what is that electromagnetic field? That include gamma rays and the X-rays, ultraviolet rays, some visible light and the infrared rays, microwave rays and radio waves. Okay, so this all the waves are electromagnetic field have. So this type of electromagnetic waves are used in wireless communication. So that is that thing we discussed, right? So for what purpose we use this electromagnetic waves? Just simple. In wired communication, for that information carrying purpose, we are using wires, copper wires, right? In this wireless medium for the information sharing purpose, we want to share one signal from one place to another place, right? So that signal have some informations, right? So for the purpose of sharing our information, here we use electromagnetic waves. Okay, but already wired communication implemented concept, already implemented we have, right? Then why we moved to wireless communication? Already we have wired communication, so using wired communication we can share our information. That's also possible only. Okay, we already did it, right? Then why people are moved to wireless communication or wireless media? What is the necessary? What are the advantages of wireless communication? Why wireless communication is need? That thing we don't know, right? Yeah, let me discuss about it. When wired communication can do most of tasks that wireless communication can, why do we need wireless communication? The primary and important benefits of wireless communication is mobility, right? So apart from mobility, wireless communication also offer flexibility and easy of use also, which make it increasingly popular day by day. So these types of wireless communication like mobile telephony can be made anywhere and anytime with any considerable high throughput performance. Another important point in infrastructure, the setup and the installation of infrastructure for wired communication system is an expensive and time consuming job. Okay, so the infrastructure for wireless communication can be installed easily and low cost. In emergency situations and remote locations where the setup of wired communication is default, that wireless communication is a viable option. Okay, for this purpose only we moved wired communication to wireless communication. Okay, let me discuss about that wireless communication and let me discuss about wireless communication and let me discuss about types of wireless communication. Okay. First type is terrestrial microwave communication, right? Terrestrial microwave communication is nothing that microwave technology can be very secure form of communication, and if a signal need to transmitted over a short distance, it can be enough to erect two antenna with a clear line of sight. The signal can then be transmitted between the two receivers. So this negates the need to connect to an outside network. This is terrestrial microwave and another type is satellite microwave. Another type is satellite microwave. So this is the most effective method of transmitting microwave that globally like infrared technologies. That microwave technologies that require a clear line of sight. This means that if you want to send a signal over a long distance, it's sending it up to a satellite first is a good idea. The only problem is that in very dense cloudy weather, the signal to the satellite can be blocked by atmosphere. That's only a problem. Otherwise, the satellite communication is one of the best idea. Then broadcast radio. that broadcast radio is nothing. That infrared communication, that broadcast communication is present in most. It mostly transmit information by mean of invisible lights, and this means that the electromagnetic spectrum is lies between microwave and that invisible light of broadcast. Okay, so this is the types of infrared communication. Let me discuss about FDMA. Okay, FDMA is nothing. So frequency division multiple access, right? So it's one of the most common angleless multiple access method. Here the frequency band is dividing into channel of equal bandwidth so that each conversion is carried on a different frequency. Okay, so the different frequency slot we can see in our here. Okay, here each and every slot represent a different frequencies. Okay, yeah. The next one is TDMA. Okay, TDMA with the FDMA. Let me discuss about it. Okay, TDMA is nothing. Time divisible multiple access. So it's one of the complex technology because it requires accurate synchronization between the transmitter and the receiver. Okay, that TDMA is used in digital mobile radio system. The individual mobile station cyclically assign a frequency for the exclusive use of a time interval. Okay, here we can saw the time intervals. Then next one is CDMA, code division multiple access. So this is a sort of multiplexing that facilitates various signal to occupy a single transmission channel. It optimizes the use of available bandwidth. The technology is commonly used in ultra high frequency cellular telephonic system, that band ranging between 800 MHz to 1.9 GHz. Then another type is OFDM. Okay, OFDM is nothing. So orthogonal frequency division multiplexing. So this method of digital data modulation whereby a single stream of data is divided into several separate substreams for transmission via multiple channel. Okay, let me discuss about generation of signals. Okay, here we can saw the intervals and technologies, frequencies, bandwidth and access system core network of 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G and 5G also. Okay, let me discuss about it. Okay, so actually generation 1, that is launched by Nippon Telegraph and Telephone in 1979. Okay, so that 1G was first introduced to the citizen of Tokyo by 1984. The first generation network that covered all of Japan and making it the first country to have 1G service in nationwide. Okay, so this type of 1G we used in cell phone prototype that was made in 1973. That Motorola introduced the first commercially available cell phone to the public in 1983. Okay, we know about cell phone, right? Yeah. Then the drawbacks of first generation is, so its security didn't exit over a 1G channel because there was no encryption. That means anybody with a radio scanner could drop in a call. And the download speed over 1G was also incredibly slow and only reached around 2.4 kilobytes per second only. Okay, so that's why we moved to second generation. The 2G provides some significant mobile talk advancement that introduced a encrypted call. Encrypted call means nobody could drop in on your call unwanted anymore. Okay, so it's also improved sound quality and reducing the static and crackling noises, etc. And speed also increased, right, compared to 1G. Then, however, that wasn't the most state of the art benefit that this data transfer feature that provide. In fact, with the 2Gs, the data transferring, it completely changed the way of we could communicate by introducing text to message and MMS also. Okay, SMS and MMS. So this is a new form of communication also created in 2G communication. Okay, then after that demand also increased, right? More people using cell phone after coming 2G. More people are using cell phone. That time their data gets snowballed. Okay, then 3G is introduced. Okay, 3G is introduced in 2001. So in this 3G compared to 2G, 3G has 4 times data transferring capability that reaching up to 2 Mbps per. Okay, so we can increasing the video streaming, video conference call and live video chat all are possible by using 3G, right? Then let me discuss about 4G. I think most of the people know about 4G, right? That's introduced in 2009 to 2010. Compared to 3G, 4G provide a high video quality and video streaming, chat and fast mobility, web access, HD videos, online gaming, all are 4G provided. Okay, then 5G. Actually, 5G is firstly introduced in South Korea. Nowadays, India also it reached, but firstly it introduced in South Korea in 2019. Okay, so there is no word about to describe about 5G. The biggest difference between 4G and 5G is 5G is provide a much big latency and bandwidth size. So we can increasing our downloading speed and uploading speed compared to 4G. Compared to 4G, that 5G around 50 millisecond, whereas 5G average latency is exported to about 10. So that 5G have larger frequency range. So that's why we moved to 4G to 5G. Okay, thank you to all. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for giving this wonderful opportunity.